Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report, where we bring you the latest and most exciting sports news every single day. If you're a Detroit Lions fan, or just someone who loves following the twists and turns of NFL drama, you're going to want to stick around for this one, because something might be brewing in Detroit. And no, I'm not just talking about the Tyreek Williams pick in the first round, although that in itself was a strong move that filled a critical need. I'm talking about what could happen next. I'm talking about the second and third rounds. I'm talking about a certain edge rusher who might just be slipping into Detroit's orbit, and no one's really talking about it yet. But maybe we should be. So let's rewind just a little. On Thursday night, with the 28th pick in the first round, the Lions added Tyreek Williams, a dominant interior force from Ohio State. That move was as calculated as it was powerful. It signaled that Detroit is continuing to double down on the trenches, building from the inside out, staying true to Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes' vision of grit, physicality, and control at the line of scrimmage. But with that defensive interior now starting to look complete, the question becomes, what's next? Because the defensive line isn't just about the middle. It's about the edges. It's about getting after the quarterback with ferocity and frequency. It's about collapsing pockets from both sides. And while Aiden Hutchinson has been a revelation, one elite pass rusher isn't enough in today's NFL. Not when you're facing the likes of Jordan Love, Kirk Cousins, and Justin Fields 6 times a year. Not when the NFC is loaded with offenses built to get the ball out fast or stretch you thin with tempo. That's where the speculation begins. That's where things start getting interesting. Because there's a name that keeps popping up in private conversations, in small whispers on analyst podcasts, in fan forums where the diehards read between the lines. That name is Donovan Ezearoku, the relentless edge rusher out of Boston College who's been flying just under the radar, quietly dominant, consistently disruptive, and maybe, just maybe, exactly what the Lions are looking for on day 2. Let's talk about Ezearoku for a minute. This is a guy who made 36 straight starts for the Eagles. That kind of durability and consistency, that's not normal in college football today. That's a testament to his preparation, his health, and most of all, his hunger. And if that wasn't enough, he tied Boston College's single-season sack record with 16.5 in a single campaign. Just let that sink in for a moment. The only other name in BC history to hit 30 career sacks is Mathias Kiwanuka, a name every Lions fan should remember from his days tormenting quarterbacks in the NFL. Ezearoku is now in that same conversation. That's not hype. That's just numbers. But here's the thing, Ezearoku doesn't have the national spotlight. He didn't play in the SEC. He didn't get the flashy pre-draft coverage that other edge rushers received. And because of that, there's a real chance that he could slide into the second round. Maybe even late second. And you know who's picking at 60? The Detroit Lions. Now let's connect some dots. We know Brad Holmes loves production. We know he values durability. We know he's not afraid to pull the trigger on high-motor guys who might have been overlooked for flashier prospects. And if there's one thing Ezearoku has, it's that non-stop engine. Watch the tape. The dude just doesn't quit. He's got a wicked first step, solid hand usage, and knows how to set up offensive tackles across 4 quarters. He's not just a pass rusher, he's a finisher. And think about this. Pairing Donovan with Hutchinson on the opposite side? That's a nightmare for opposing offensive coordinators. One side you've got Hutch collapsing the pocket with power and agility. The other, Ezearoku, bending the edge and hunting quarterbacks. It's not just a nice thought. It's a terrifying one for anyone trying to protect the passer against Detroit. Could that be the plan? Could the Lions be quietly targeting Ezearoku with that 60th pick? And here's where it gets even more intriguing. Could they trade up to make sure they get him before someone else does? Let's not forget Brad Holmes' own words from Thursday night. When asked about his plans for day 2, he said, "If I wake up and feel it, and Dan feels it too, there's a chance we get aggressive." That doesn't sound like a man content to sit still. That sounds like a general manager with a target. That sounds like someone ready to make a move. And fans are starting to pick up on it. Social media is quietly buzzing. Reddit threads are lighting up. There's a growing sense that the Lions aren't done shaking things up. Could Ezearoku be the next piece? Could this be the player that Detroit sees as the ideal complement to their young defensive core? And if he's there at 60, or even a few picks before that, do you really think Holmes is going to risk losing out? There's also a little bit of regional connection to consider. Ezearoku played at Boston College, which isn't exactly in the Lions' backyard, but Michigan has a strong scouting presence on the East Coast. And while that might not be the deciding factor, it's another box quietly checked off. The Lions do their homework. They're not just watching combined numbers. They're watching film. They're meeting with coaches. They're digging deep into character and fit. And if the whispers are true, and if the front office really believes Ezearoku can step in and elevate this defense, the pick could come faster than anyone expects. But here's where things get even more fun. What if the Lions do go get him? What does that mean for the rest of the draft? What kind of message does that send to the rest of the NFC? Suddenly, you're looking at a defensive line rotation that includes Hutchinson, McNeil, Tylik Williams, and Donovan Ezearoku. That's pressure from every angle. That's chaos for opposing quarterbacks. That's the kind of front four that wins in January. And even if they don't take him, even if just knowing that this kind of talent is on the board should get every Lions fan excited about what's coming next. Because day two is where teams separate themselves. It's where smart franchises find gold while others are still looking at the surface. But what do you think? Do you believe the Lions are eyeing Donovan Ezearoku? Would he be the perfect fit next to Hutchinson on that edge? Or do you think Detroit has another surprise up its sleeve? Maybe someone we're not even talking about yet? Personally, I'm fired up. I've been watching Ezearoku's film all week, and the more I see, the more I think he might be that guy. The guy who changes the entire tone of the defense. The guy who gets the crowd at Ford Field standing on every third down. The guy who makes quarterbacks uncomfortable before the snap even happens. I can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Lions News Fan Report, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. There's so much more to come this draft weekend, and you're not going to want to miss a second of it. Thanks for watching. One Pride always.